Start over? All right, take two. All right. You don't even need to count me in. So, good morning again. My name is John Arthur. I teach sixth grade in Salt Lake City, and I'm a proud member of the writing committee for our new elementary social studies standards. And as you head into the final stretch in the revisions process for these standards, I'd love to answer the question a lot of folks have had: why are these standards so broad for our little kids? Well, I once asked my sixth graders, what is social studies? My kids wrote their answers on sticky notes that I read aloud to the class. I'll never forget, the very first note read, the story of us. The story of us. I later learned that the student had tried to write the history of the US, but I like what he wrote more, the story of us. And as with every public comment submitted for these new standards, some folks were worried that the most essential events, names, and dates in the story of us were left out. I'm here to tell you that those elements are critically important. They're still there, and there's a whole lot more to our story that needs to be told. It reminds me of the stunning images of the cosmos that were sent back by the James Webb Telescope. I don't know about you, but I was stupefied by the wonders I saw, and yet I wanted to see more. When I saw those pictures, I immediately wanted them to widen that lens, to turn it a little bit, to do something so we can see more of what's out there. And that's exactly what we've done with these social studies standards. We've widened the lens so our students can see more names, more faces, more dates and events that better capture the dynamic and kaleidoscopic brilliance that is the story of all of us. So as you consider your amendments and edits for these standards, I humbly ask that you keep in mind that each standard is like a spotlight on a stage. And when you shine a narrow light on specific names, faces, and events, you risk leaving whole communities unseen and standing in the dark. Seeing more doesn't mean you lose sight of what's important. It means more of Utah's children will see themselves reflected in these standards as they study and celebrate the accomplishments and contributions of all communities represented in our classrooms. In the words of maybe our greatest American, Bruce Lee, it's like a finger pointing away to the moon. Don't focus on the finger or you'll miss all that heavenly glory. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Arthur. Annie Massey,